Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So I'm here with my unboxing and first impressions video of the brand new Google Pixel 4. You can see here on the front of the cover, I got the white one or the panda one, whatever you want to call it. They also have it in black, and then they have it in that not so orange color or whatever they call it. You can see there the graphic on the back, the Team Pixel, and a nice pretty picture of the Pixel 4 in all of its glory sitting on their desk. So here I am with my sharp knife, which apparently you don't need because it has a pull tab right there. So I cut one side, I pulled the pull tab on the other. But pretty easy to get inside the box. Um, and yeah, so here we are with the Pixel 4. Ta-da! Now it's got the little plastic wrap thing on it. Really easy to go ahead and take that off. At first glance, the iPhone 4, I mean, it's got a nice look to it, I suppose, and it's pretty heavy. I mean, I don't want to say real heavy, but it feels heavier than the previous Pixel models. I never had the original Pixel, but I did have the Pixel 2 and I had the Pixel 3 XL. So here I am with the Pixel 4, and it does look nice. It looks kind of like it has like the frosted appearance around the edges, and then on the back it does have that matte frosted finish to it, but it is very subtle. It's not pronounced. It's not as something you can feel as well as you did on the Pixel 3. So it's definitely a difference there. But it does feel good in the hand. It's got a nice grip to it. You've got the USB-C charging port on the bottom there, along with the speaker setup, and then you got your little orange button over there, the power button, and the volume button, which of course are reversed from the way the rest of the world does it. I don't really know why they do that, but it drives me crazy. Then there's the two camera setup on the back, which I'm going to go ahead and pull in the mock dummy phone that I have of the iPhone 11 here, the 11 Pro, so you can see what they look like side by side. I've said from the get-go when the Pixel 4 came out that it did look substantially similar to the iPhone 11 Pro, at least the proposed images in the dummy unit. A lot of people are like, oh, they copied them, they copied them. I don't think they did at all. I think that they had similar thought processes in mind when they went to go do this, but as you can see, the execution is completely different. And of course, we were three cameras with the iPhone 11 Pro and two cameras with the Pixel 4 and the Pixel 4 XL. So you can see them there side by side. I really like the look that the iPhone 11 Pro has with their cameras as opposed to the Pixel. There's actually some, design stuff that went into it other than just being that little square slab of glass on the back. But, whatever works. All right, so now that we did that quick side by side with the iPhone 11 Pro, let's go ahead and focus back on the Pixel 4. Just figured, they're kind of the two competitive phones when it comes to, Android itself versus, the iPhone Apple experience. A lot of people really like the Google Pixel phones, and a lot of people really like their Apple iPhones. So there we have that. Now, inside the documentation box, you got the user guide, and then we also have the SIM ejection tool, which I'll go ahead and need that here in a minute. So I can take the SIM out of my other phone and put it in here and get it set up. Easy peasy. Let's set that off to the side. Now inside the box, we have our USB-C charging cable here. It's got a USB-C adapter, our connector on both ends. You see it's not the longest cord in the world, but it should do just fine. And then we have the MTD adapter that we can use so we can do our smart share and transfer our files and get the Pixel set up. And also, if you want to do file share stuff later on in the future, this is very important. It's kind of annoying, though, that it doesn't work with just a straight up USB-C. You have to have a USB-C cable that has a standard USB type A on it that you plug in, and then you use that adapter. So maybe there's some science in that I'm not aware of, but it is kind of just raises questions in my mind. We have this quick charge power brick. It's got 3 amps of power, so it should get you recharged quick, fast, and in a hurry with the Pixel 4. So no problems there. And that's pretty much all for what's inside the box. Google is very simple with their presentation and the way they put everything together. So here we are. Hi there, according to the screen. And we'll go ahead and get the basic setup done on here so we can look at this a little bit farther. And I'm going to go ahead and take the SIM card out of my BlackBerry Key 2, which if any of you have been following my Twitter or my videos lately, you'll know I've been using that as one of my primary devices. So I do have a little bit of heartburn when it comes to taking the SIM out of that. And that's one of the behind the scene things that I don't think a lot of people understand when it comes to new devices, because new devices are cool. It's like, hey, I've got this new Pixel 4, but it's like, well, shoot, now I got to take the SIM out of my BlackBerry Key 2, which I enjoy using all the time, so I can test this one out. So here we are, taking the SIM card out of my poor BlackBerry Key 2, which is going to have to sit on the shelf for a little while I test out the Pixel 4. Sorry, boo. I do love you, but for now, in the name of science, I got to test out this other phone. So very easy to get the SIM card in the SIM adapter or in the SIM tray. You can see there, it's only good for one SIM, so it's not a dual SIM phone. So regardless of whether you get the regular model from a carrier or you get an unlocked model like I have, it's only a single SIM. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut out of here and get done with the rest of that so you can not see my super secret password to my Wi-Fi. All right, now go ahead and set up the face unlock. Surprisingly, it is a little unconventional compared to some of the other ones. This is kind of hard to do from behind the camera tripod with my phone in the way and all that good stuff. But you can see I'm trying my best to follow the little blue tiles on that sphere so I can get it done properly. So knock out the last two there, look down, and bam. Now, I will say that actually it works pretty well. I don't have any complaints about it. I've been using the phone for all evening now, and I think it works just as well as on the iPhone. But one thing that people are complaining about that I'm seeing is that the apps don't support it yet as a biometric feature. So giving up the fingerprint sensor if you used a different Android device that had a fingerprint sensor, and then trying to use this, you're going to be out of luck with some of your apps because it doesn't realize that you can use the facial recognition as a biometric. So I'm assuming that that's going to be some pain in the rear end and a bit of a learning curve as we move forward, just like it was with Face ID on the iPhones whenever they first came out with it, because they did the same revolutionary thing. They said, we think our facial recognition technology is so good that we're going to take out the fingerprint sensor, but then they're like, oh wait, our apps don't support it. So anything outside of the core Google experience, I would anticipate a little bit of lag time. So here we are, got everything good to go. I went ahead and started the app switch and did all that good stuff so I could get my phone set up. And here we go, we're all set. And this is running Android 10. So it's got the latest and greatest. I have been using it, for, like I said, the last couple of while now, and I'm an idiot. I had the two cases sitting side by side, and they look so similar. I accidentally put the iPhone 11 Pro case on my Pixel 4 instead of the Pixel 4 Ring-Key Fusion case. So you go ahead and pop that one off so I can put the appropriate case on here and come back and you can see what it looks like. But the Ring-Key Fusion case, or the Fusion X case, is a really good case. And I do like Ring-Key products a lot, so I'll be supporting this on here for the time being. And now I have the appropriate case on here. So ta-da, it is compatible with the squeeze feature for the Google Assistant. So I've never really been a big fan of the whole squeeze thing. I like having a dedicated button, but they feel the need to still have the squeeze feature, and it works perfectly fine. You can adjust the sensitivity. So if you want to have to squeeze it less or stronger or adjust for certain cases, then you've got that going on. But it does have the fully integrated swipe gestures now on Android 10, which actually work pretty good. I did try the Android 10 beta a while back, I think the very first iteration, and I was sorely disappointed. There we go. You can see that the camera fits in there well now. So I was a little disappointed, but it does seem to work pretty well now. So I do like it. It seems pretty nice. And that's all I've got on my unboxing and initial impressions for the Pixel 4 so far. So if you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. And as always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.